I tell you what, cookies and Bill is crazy together. Crazy.
You're listening to Rellism Sports Talk with your host, Terrell Jenkins.
That's me. Well, again, welcome back. Episode 89, giving love to my moms. You know how we do it with Mother's Day coming up. So give a kiss to your moms. Everybody tell your mom you love them. Tell your grandma you love them. Tell them all, you know what I'm saying? Every day's not promised. So just show that love. Show that love. But today, episode 89, Rellism Sports Talk, we're going to be talking about NBA playoffs, of course. Some little draft love for the four top teams, I think. One of them I really hate to say who it is. Then we're going to talk about some decisions for the NBA, some NBA All-Stars and franchises going on, you know what I mean? And then some NFL players unsigned still. Maybe gonna get suspended now. Actually, gonna get suspended now. And then we got to talk about the big time storylines. That's what we're doing today. But of course, we start with the NBA playoffs. And the last game we saw, we saw the Suns and Mavs last, but yesterday we saw the Heat kind of do what I knew they was gonna do to the 76ers. I mean, Harden tried for a smidge or whatnot, but the process is over, guys. The process is over. Even with Joel Embiid back, I don't think that they would win this series. I think it would be closer, maybe 6 games as opposed to 4, maybe. I'm seeing 4. Because don't forget, you think Miami's scared to go to Philadelphia? Jimmy Butler played there a little bit, you know what I mean? And that's why I say the process is over. The process was to accumulate talent or assets to get what you needed. You did that, but then you made poor decisions. Yeah, let Jimmy Butler go after he came and brought the dog to the building. He brought the dog to the building. And y'all decided, Ben Simmons over him. How's that working out? Because instead of that dog in the building, Jimmy Butler, you got somebody that don't want to play, who's opposite a dog. He don't want to shoot nothing. And then you trade that guy for the most blunderful all-star ever in James Harden, which he's showing you that he is fat and happy now, I guess. And he could get fatter and happier with a next contract, but we'll get to that in a second. So, I mean, no Embiid, no problem. Miami does what they do. And they might even get Kyle Lowry back game 3. I mean, this is crazy. You look at Miami's team and you see some players on there, Bam, Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying, seeing these guys play together. And then you looking at guys like Tyler Hero, who coming off the bench, killing. Yeah, he won 6 Man of the Year because he coming off the bench. He should be starting. But he embraces his role and he got a smooth stroke. And I like that. He got that little something about him. I like that. And then remember his other dude that was undrafted, Duncan Robinson? He don't even play. He played 1 minute last game. 1 minute. I'm sitting there like, dude, I'll take Duncan Robinson right now. I guarantee you a bunch of teams would. He don't even play much. The last time I think he played like, he's got like 20-some points against the first round team. I mean, but, and then we looking at guys like Oladipo, who I kept saying, he's getting healthier and healthier. You forget Oladipo was a star. He was a star. Yeah, he had injuries, whatever, but he's still a star. He was on the verge of trying to be a superstar, but he still got that star talent, put it that way. And you got him coming off the bench. He scored 19 points. He scored as many points as Philadelphia's whole bench scored by himself. And he coming back off injury. I'm just saying he getting healthier and healthier and healthier. I mean, they're playing defense. They just played Pat Riley Miami Heat ball. I mean, it's just what it is. Maybe I'm just jumping on Pat Riley because I'm watching that Showtime jungle on HBO Max. And I be hyped watching that. Anyway, so on the other side of it, we look at it as, I mean, Harden, I won't say Harden's playing bad, but my expectations are what they are on the defensive side of the ball. But if you ain't gonna get me these big 40-point games, you just not doing enough to be James Harden for that franchise. Especially when Embiid ain't playing. You gotta score 40-something. You gotta do some John Morant type stuff, which we'll talk about later. You have to exert yourself. You are the guy. You left Brooklyn in that role because you didn't think they could win, or it's because you wasn't getting the ball enough, because you were playing well, but you can't be trying to who you passing it to? Who you gonna pass it to get points? You were brought there to score, to play. They already had somebody that didn't want to shoot already on the team, and he played defense. You don't play defense, so you need to score. When is this? You trying to be selfish now? I mean, unselfish? Come on, bro. You got to score. But it don't really matter. It don't really matter because you start looking at him and he's like, you either going to give him his money now. Either way, it's going to be over 200 million, either for 5 years or for 4. Are you going to invest that money? Because if you don't invest that money, everybody's going to make fun of you like, haha, you did all this and then you came up with nothing and now you got rid of James Harden. The organization don't want to look like that. So I think he knows that. So it's like no pressure on him to do that. But I mean, you still got a legacy, homie. Or you go be somebody like Carmelo Anthony, who got that money. You got the money. You played where you wanted to play. You didn't really win nothing. You won some games. You got some hype, some publicity. But I'm sure he would cash that in for a ring right now. That's why he was jumping on the Lakers over there, thinking he was going to try to catch something with LeBron. It's not the same LeBron, homie. It's not the same LeBron. But so then you get to the point where it's like, do you pay that 200-some million? I feel like they're in desperate need that they have to, or it's going to be laughed out of the building. But I'm looking at it like, yo, Maxie. I'm gonna let girl and he makes Maxie. Remember that song? Nah, y'all don't remember that. If you're around my age, you remember that song. Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. Anyway, Maxie had 34 more points. And he just looks spry. He looks spry. He looked like he just, played in Kentucky, you know what I'm saying? He like, I'm not scared of this moment. Let me go do it. You know what I'm saying? Let me go do it. And he plays a little defense. He plays a little defense. Better than the Beard. So do you not pay this? Do you just say, you know what? We're not going to do like the Nets and get held hostage by a superstar. And we're going to say we're going to ride with Embiid. Maxie's there. You got a couple little players, but I don't know how long they're going to last on your team. You know what I mean? But you got money to go get somebody, or you got talent that other people might say, you know what? I might jump on that roster and I might be the difference maker. You might look at somebody like a Levine. We were talking about Chicago. He's going to have an option. Suppose he's just like, you know what? I want to leave. I want to go here. Suppose Dame was like, trade me to Philly. Now, granted, they might have to give up Maxey to get that, which I understand. So it might be tough trying to get a trade like that way. But somebody with a contract, free agent coming out, there's gonna be players that might look at themselves like, maybe it's me they missing. Maybe that's me they missing. Who knows? But they got to look in the mirror and say, do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? Because that's a lot of commitment to a guy that's not really showing nothing the past little bit here. What did he do for the last year in Houston? He just got fat, quit on his team basically, and was like, and then he goes to try to just join up with them. Like, put me on the team so I can win a ring. So nobody can talk about me saying I'm a superstar that never won. I think that's all it is to him. And then it's like, oh, well, they're acting all funny. I don't know if they're going to win or not. Put me over there because I think Philly, I could be perfect with Joel Embiid. And on paper, it did look like that. I just don't see it, but I feel like Philadelphia's handcuffed. So I don't know. I can't see an organization make a big time decision like that to like just say, heck, what everybody else says, we're doing what we think was best. Because if it fails, then, I mean, either way, it's going to come back. Time will tell, but I don't know. I'd love to see what happened. Next game, Suns over the Mavericks, which I'm not shocked. I mean, but I am. Chris Paul looks like, what he say? He's the point guard. I mean, geez. Chris Paul looks a little something to him. Like he's angry about what happened last year. He's bitter. He's frustrated and pissed off I mean, looking at the bench of the Mavericks. Jason Kidd just like, call timeout now. Angry Chris Paul. I like angry Chris Paul. Booker coming back from his injury, looking like the baby mamba against team high scoring. Ayton's just playing his role, but Ayton can take over a game. We saw when Booker was out because Tommy called it out. Tommy said it first to me anyway. He said, he's going to go out there and get it. He also said the Joker would destroy Ayton. We'll see how long that would last. But anyway, I think Ayton's just right there, yo. And if anybody's going to make him better, it is Chris Paul because he makes everybody better on his team. And you know what? And the more we think about players that do that, it changes kind of my idea of the rankings and stuff. Because all the teams that he played on, yeah, he's had some playoff collapses. But it seems like his team, other players on the team got better when he was there. I don't know. We can dig deeper into that on the Raw show tomorrow night. Luka. And Luka is what he is. Brandon's man crush. Luka. Brandon thinks he's the best player in the league. Offensively, he's a slow motion killer. This guy looks like he's doing everything in slow-mo. I mean, he's just slow-mo for show, scoring buckets. God, he is. But he looks unstoppable. He's way stronger than what people think he is, which I don't understand because I think he's got some dog in him also. But I don't understand why he can't play no defense. Is it because his legs and feet are too slow like he does on offense? Because you got to be quicker on your feet on defense. He can't play no defense at all. And I think that's the problem. When you can't play no defense, you need somebody underneath you. You need a forward that can play good defense and a center that can play good defense behind you. And I'm looking behind him and I'm looking like, then again, I'm looking at his whole roster and I'm like, how are you even here? How are y'all even here, yo? Just don't get it. Because Brunson, Tommy and Shimon, Brunson ain't it. Just like Tannehill wasn't it. He ain't it. Yeah, he can put up a couple games here and there. Like Grayson Allen, Tommy, which we'll get to. Brunson ain't it, dude. He's like this tall. You can't be this tall and be it. He ain't it. They don't have nobody else. Who else is on that roster? You know what I'm saying? And this goes out to you, Tommy, Dog, and Chris Middleton talking about, Middleton ain't nothing. Every team has a Middleton. I bet you Luka would love a Middleton. I bet you the Lakers would have loved a Middleton. I bet you Philly would love a Middleton. I bet you Kevin Durant would love a Middleton. We could trade Kyrie to somebody and get Middleton and a whole bunch of players that could fit his help. I bet you he would love something like that, which we'll get into that later on. But Middleton is that good. He's that good. I've seen him play playoff games without Giannis and win and go out there and do things. Do I think he's dope like that? No. His silhouette looks like Kobe the way he shoots. Me and Brandon was talking about that. He do look like him a little bit. Even in the All-Star game, we were like, yo, is that like what? Like in that movie, The Sixth Man with Kadeem Hardison, who was on a different world with the flip-up glasses. He was playing the stuff as the ghost with the Wayans boy. When, you know what I'm saying, he get into the people's body and make it whatever. It's like Kobe got in his body. Sometimes Middleton looked like him so much. But people would love that Middleton right now. Talking about he and all that. The Mavs have nobody else. I don't even know what they got in the Porzingis trade. I got to look that up because I ain't seen nobody on the team that I would be like, oh, I'll give Porzingis to him and get him. Oh, it must be some draft stuff or something. I got to look it up because I'm looking at the roster like, And I remember when Tim Hardaway Jr. got traded because they thought he was a bust. He came a little along with the Knicks and got a little contract. But I don't understand. Then we get to those Bucks and Celtics. I mean, Giannis is the man. But like I tried to say before, nobody wanted to listen to me. Boston's defense is top notch. Giannis had 28 points, but he was 11 of 27 shooting. 11 to 27, homie. And it looks like they're keeping him out of the paint, man. Are they keeping him out of the paint? I said this before. I said it's going to remind me of Toronto with Kawhi Leonard when they won the championship. They like smothered him. Remember, they were down like 2-0. And then they figured out on defense how to just smother the middle to keep him out. And I think somebody like Brooke Lopez needs to be on the floor more because he can shoot threes, which will pull that big out. I think Lopez is the guy that has to come up with a whole bunch of points. I think he needs a 25 to 30 point game to help Giannis be able to get in that middle. You know what I mean? Because Drew Holiday, he's great. He's okay. He's fast. You know, he can get through things, but he's small and he's not going to help Giannis get in the lane. He's not doing nothing to draw no defenders out. So I don't know. I think Brook Lopez is going to be a key to that team. I think losing PJ Tucker hurt them, and he's definitely helping Miami. Middleton said he might come back by game 5, but I don't see it. And I think the season's going to be over by game 5. I think after game 5 is over, I think it's 4-1. I think Celtics will win the next 3 in a row. I mean, I think the Heat can sweep the 76ers. I think the Suns can sweep the Mavs. And I think the next 2 series, 4-1. Even though it's 1-1 right now with both of them, I think the Celtics win. They're going to win 3 more in a row and win because Tatum and Brown, Tatum and Brown have been battle tested. People don't realize it. They have played in the playoffs and deep into the playoffs. Them two as being the lead dogs. Even the year they made the trade to get Kyrie, he was out. They were the lead dogs. And they pushed game 7 to the Eastern Conference Finals and played deep into the playoffs. And here they are again after just beating and sweeping the Nets. You know, now you're playing the defending champions with arguably the best player in the league right now in Giannis. I just think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, very underrated. But can Jaylen Brown keep it up? Can he keep it up? Grant Williams, I call him generic baby Barkley. Reminds me of a Barkley. Plays tough defense, undersized, can score. I love it. I remember Philly with Barkley when he was younger. It looked like the same type dude to me. Grant Williams. Don't forget. He's somebody like that. Then the last series, Warriors Grizzlies, 1-1 now. Ja Morant, 47 more points. It's crazy. He's only the 3rd player in NBA history to have 45-point games before the age of 23. Multiple 45-point games. The only 2 were LeBron and that dude Cub. Ja Morant, like I've been saying, is a guy who might be the face of the league real soon, bro. Real soon. Ja Morant. And before we get into the series, I'm going to pause real quick. It's a commercial break for the podcast. But we'll be right back to finish up the series because it's probably going to be the most entertaining series. That's why I saved it for last. Be right back. All right, welcome back. Episode 89, Rellism Sports Talk. Talking about the final NBA playoff game, Grizzlies Warriors. But before we get into the game, I know we talked about Ja. We talked about Ja Morant's dunk. His dunk in the last series against Minnesota. Talk about what rank was it in the playoff, dunk history. I said 3, but it was up there. Andrew Wiggins' dunk last game is right there with Ja. Yo, and the reason why I put it like that, he went into a big dude, boom, put him on his butt, and then was like, whoa. Yo, if you didn't see the dunk, they're not showing it enough because it wasn't Ja Morant. It was Andrew Wiggins. In Canada, I bet you they blew that dunk up. You know he Canadian. You know Canada blew it up. They're probably still talking about Andrew Wiggins. I put it right there with Ja Morant. We'll talk about that on Raw. I'll debate it with the fellas, but go ahead and Google that, YouTube, search that, and check it out because I put it right there with it. Morant had 47. Big time game where they were losing. Bane only had 5 points. And like I said, Jackson, you can't count on him getting all the points. He had 12. Foul trouble. You lose Brooks, who's now suspended for the next game for his ignorant play on GP2. What are they going to do now? I think they need Brooks, but I don't think Brooks should be starting. I think he's a bench player. I think he's off the bench, come off 6-man type player. Because he comes in with a lot of juice, But I think John and them are trying to figure out things in the beginning. He just be chucking up shots. I think he takes a lot of bad shots, especially in the beginning of the game. I think he should come off the bench. But that's for Coach Jenkins to figure out, not Coach T. I think the Warriors will win the next 3 games. I just think going back home, the Splash Brothers will never be shooting the way they're shooting. They're shooting. Clay had a horrible game. And you know what I'm saying? I know it's a tougher series than what I thought it was going to be. But Clay still, I mean, I'm not trying to justify him having an off game, but I think as the season goes on, the playoffs go on, he's going to get better and better. I think home's going to prove the separation. I think in Memphis, John Moran and his teams were hyped. They haven't had that atmosphere in what? You saw big Zebo Zach Randolph sitting in the front row chilling. Some people probably don't even know who he is, but he got his number retired. But yeah, so I feel like the Golden State, when they go back home, Splash Brothers going to be hitting. Everybody's going to be hitting. And of course, I think Poole's going to be hitting. So, I mean, what do you think about Golden State's story? And this is what I'm talking about. Kobe, huge fan. I like Steph Curry. His dad went to Fort Defiance, which is in Harrisonburg, Virginia. So it's in the same kind of district and everything, which my son hit a game-winning shot on Del Curry's court where he got a steal. Yeah, that was my son did that. Anyway, look at the Golden State story. We start looking at all these people where they're joining forces. We already talked about Kyrie leaving, or we're going to trade this person, James Harden trade. Golden State Warriors drafted Steph Curry, drafted Klay Thompson, drafted Draymond Green. You're drafting Kuminga out of the G League. You're drafting these guys. And being successful. Sure, they played with Kevin Durant and won another one, but you won 2 before that with drafted guys. And it's so impressive. And it's like a story. You can't hate them. And then you look at the other players that's on their team right now. We just talked about Gary Payton, number 2. Dude was in the G League for a while, dude. And he kept fighting and pushing. Now you're a starter for Golden State for the playoffs. I know he got hurt or whatever. Hopefully he can come back in the next round because they definitely will win. And then you look at Jordan Poole, another guy, Michigan boy for Brandon. But he was in the G League too. Like, these guys have pushed themselves and fought themselves. And it's something about that G League organization for Golden State, because I was pushing and yelling for everybody when Seth Curry, Steph's brother, was in there. I'm like, and won a championship with the G League team. Excuse me. And I was like, Lakers, we need this one. We still ain't good, but I was like, please go get this shooter. Now look at Seth Curry. He got a big contract with Dallas or whatever to get traded. Seth Curry's doing okay right now. G League. The G League is the greatest thing for basketball. It's helping so much. It's helping so much because of the foreign players. I think they should be able to come over the G League. I don't know the pay difference. I guess overseas they probably pay more. But if there was a way the NBA could do that and get some of those star European players to play in the G League before they could come up to the draft, I think that would be humongous. That's what the NFL, hopefully that's what the XFL is doing with the NFL, trying to get stuff going on like that. Maybe out of 2 years, you can either go to XFL or you can go back for your 3rd year in college. I think that would be great. Great. But yeah, look at that. Poole, who's putting up big time numbers, trying to get a big time contract. GP2, working his tail off. And then you got the 3 guys who's already drafted your foundation in the Splash Brothers and Draymond, who's still doing it. I think it's exciting. And Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, okay, Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, they get a free agent. Andrew Wiggins was an afterthought. He was the number 1 pick for Cleveland. LeBron said, nope, get out of here. I want Kevin Love because I don't want you. Went to Minnesota. They said, we can't win with Andrew Wiggins. Now, Minnesota did do good because they got Anthony Edwards. I mean, D'Lo and the Pussycat ain't good enough. Jimmy Butler told you what the culture was there. That's why he wanted to get out of there. And think about that team. Andrew Wiggins, Big Cat, Jimmy Butler. Why wasn't they good? Coach Tibbs? I don't know. I think it's Big Cat. I don't think he's a guy like that. Don't think he's a guy. He has a skill set, but he don't. I just don't see it. I see front runner. So Andrew Wiggins, I think he fits his role. There's been a whole lot of number 1 picks that never turned out to be anything, but they've been in the league for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say he's a bust because he's all-star and he's definitely been a decent player. He's going to play in the league. He wasn't like out of the league or nothing. So Golden State story is amazing. If Golden State plays Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals, there's going to be tons of big-time storylines. Wow, that would be a bunch of big-time storylines. And if it happens, Rellism Sports Talk will cover them all and Rellism Raw will give you all kinds of insight. Appreciate all the viewers watching that have commented. We got a couple people that want to get on the show. So, hey, like I said, you comment, tell me where you at. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get some newcomers that we don't even know on the show. I like that. I like it. I like bringing in new people, new voices, new ideas. We all can learn something from each other. So that was my thought process on the playoffs. I think it's going to be 2 sweeps and 2 5-game series. It might be one of the quickest in history of the playoffs. So then we started looking at some of the stars and stories and big time storylines for them. Ben Simmons just had back surgery, so maybe something was wrong with his back. Maybe this was real. Maybe it ain't. But I'll tell you who needs to talk to him first. I think Kevin Durant needs to go to Ben Simmons one-on-one. One-on-one, go out to dinner. I don't care where you go. Go see your mama since she the MVP. I don't care who you go see. But they need to sit down, have a one-on-one talk and be like, yo, are you going to be good for next year? Mentally, physically, emotionally? And if Ben Simmons looks in his eyes and he's like, yo, I'm ready. Oh, I'm back to 100%. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I say Kevin Durant needs to go to the organization and say, yo, trade Kyrie now. Because I think Kyrie's just going to be another distraction, as superstar talented as he is. If you can trade him to any franchise that needs that superstar, either for ticket sales or they might be somebody away from that part going away to try to get to elevate their game or team's game, do it. Because if you get Ben Simmons, who's pass first, but his defense is dope, and Kevin Durant, you the leader of the team, and you play like you played that last game, and you got players around, you got Seth Curry, you got other players on there, and then with the assets you get for Kyrie Irving mixed in with that, and you have something to do with that roster, you do it. Don't pay Kyrie Irving all that money because you feel like you owe him. You don't owe him nothing. Now, I don't know how tight of friends they are, but man, they both competitors and they both want to win and they both got something to prove. So if he's not going to be with you, dog, you ain't got many years left. There's so many young guns out here about to take over this league. I think you go ahead and pull the trigger. If you could get a LaMelo Ball, nah, that wouldn't match up. But if you can get one of these young dudes, send them to Minnesota. They ain't gonna get rid of Anthony Edwards. But if I don't know. I don't even know if he would fit with him though. Tell you the truth, you got to find somebody that's like a catch and shoot type dude, or somebody could catch and shoot and slash. You know what I mean? And they can play defense a little bit. You got to just find the right piece. But I would do it. If I talked to Ben Simmons on the DL or the high lock. That was for my daughter. She hates when I say high lock instead of low key. I'm like high lock. But on the high lock for real, I do it. The Lakers, they're in turmoil. Get out of here. Imagine that. Phil Jackson's coming to advise them. Is he still messing with the owner? Is Jiggy still messing with him? Or are they doing free love? Who knows? But that ain't gonna sit well with LeBron and his camp. They don't like each other. Are they trying to trade LeBron? AD, Westbrook? Who should they trade? That's gonna be a question we ask on Raw. Who should go? Who should go? I'll tell you who it is. It's LeBron. Trade LeBron. I would keep Westbrook, honestly. You got rid of the coach that hated Westbrook. Bring in a coach that can relate to a similar type athlete like that. Keep AD. Yeah, I know he's not healthy all the time, but when he's healthy and right, he's right. And he don't have to play with the ball in his hands. And Westbrook can get him the ball. I mean, he did get triple-double, so he was passing to somebody. And then the assets you can get for LeBron, if you could get a piece, somebody like a Bradley Beal and some other guys like that, or something like a Damian Lillard that can shoot, make him create his own shot, I would do some stuff like that. Or you can get some young talent for him. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Go to Michael Jordan. Put LeBron on Michael Jordan's team and go get a LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, or some players like that. I'm all for it. I am all for it. Go steal Chicago's people. Give me Lonzo back. Give me DeMar DeRozan. And then give me Who else can I take? You can't take Levine and the other dude, but there's something I can take. I'll take that. I think that'd be a great trade. We'll ask on Raw who should go, or if they should try to run it back with a different coach. We'll see. Basketball's going to be interesting in the offseason, but these playoffs are interesting too. And I think the next round is going to be amazing. It's going to be tons of big time storylines. Now we get to the NFL. But before we do, we're going to pause for a real quick break before we wrap it up with some NFL talk. And then just give a shout out to my boys. We'll be right back. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 89. And we're back again. Episode 89. Check out our Facebook page. My boy Tommy runs. He's on the Raw Show, one of the co-hosts. And of course, the merch. The merch is everywhere. I'm starting to see it in different places. That's dope. Podcast. Check out the podcast if you're in your car. If you're in your car, man, don't be driving trying to watch the show. Listen to it on podcast. Or if you want to watch and look at everybody's crazy reactions and faces and going off, of course, the YouTube channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. NFL topics now. My boy D-Hop. Suspended 6 games PD use and didn't argue it. I saw some memes. He was doing all this and some crazy animal tranquilizer, something. Yo, scientists are crazy. If you are blessed to have a mind to be a scientist or something like that, God bless you, dude, because I can't imagine coming up with stuff like that to enhance somebody's time. I mean, it blows my mind. D-Hop, what's wrong? Why'd you need to take it? How long's he been taking it? Why is it coming out? We never see people, the NFL never gets busted with nothing. So this is a big shot. And it's also funny that now Kyler's talks are heating up to get him signed to his contract. Well, they're just trying to take the news off of D-Hop and just put it on something else. They're trying to cover that up. Or maybe they knew about this already and they were waiting for this. And that's why they made the trade with Hollywood Brown. So they had to know. 6 games, that's a lot. But it's an 18-game season. So I think with their schedule the way it's starting out a little bit, I think they'll be able to squeeze through some of them. They might lose 1 game or so more without him on there, but I think the Cardinals will be fine. Debo! Everybody love Debo. All of a sudden, now he's back on Instagram with the 49ers. Wow, their relationship got better all of a sudden. What? What happened? Oh, they added another whatever amount of money for you, Debo. Oh, stop this. Stop this. I can't stand this. If it's about money, say it's about money. Don't say it's about something else. Don't try to pretend like it ain't something else. Who cares? If you feel like you're getting disrespected with the contract that they offered you. Say, I love the place. I love everything else. But I mean, I feel like that contract they offered me was not good enough looking at the market. Be honest. Don't be like, oh, they know. Me and my agent and they understand what happened. And I'm going to unfollow you on social media. I can't argue with it. It's helping other people. It worked for Russell Wilson. It's working for all these other people. Didn't work for Baker, which we'll get to. And Kyrie still ain't got that money. But it looks like Debo. And honestly, if you're going to pay Debo that money that Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams are going to get, what other team's really going to give you that kind of money for that? That's not built for, this scheme is built for you. It's built for you to be getting handoffs, little quick plays. I can't think of any other team that is built for except for maybe the Ravens. And I said that. The Ravens, in which we'll talk about in their draft. But I can't see any other teams. I can't. Well, hold on. Maybe the Falcons, maybe. Since they do some stuff with Cordell Patterson. I'll give you the Falcons. How about that? Falcons. Saints, maybe? Saints. Okay, maybe there's a couple teams. But anyway, I think he fits best with the 49ers. Because you're a 49er, dude. Have a legacy. People don't want to have a legacy anymore with one team. Gosh, I just look at these Hall of Famers or whatever. Maybe my generation's older than this new age people, but I look at it and I'll be like, yeah, you say a name you like. I know it. Barry Sanders, Lions. Walter Payton, Bears. You know what I mean? They're synonymous with the franchise. Nowadays, you start saying people's names. You're like, oh, they played that XYZ X. How many teams? Like, oh, you remember LeBron James? Oh, yeah, I remember when he played with. I just feel like it ain't the same when you say Kobe, Lakers. Kobe Lakers. I think it just rolls off your tongue. But I don't know, Debo, I think it's going to get done with the 49ers. I think it was about the money. I think it was about, I don't know if it's guaranteed money or what, but I think that's what it is. Baker look like Baker. What options do Baker have? Not many, but I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like he and the organization actually are trying to like maybe mend some fences. I know people were saying like, don't let him in the building. Tommy's like, don't let him he ain't even gonna be on the field. He ain't gonna be in the building. I think if I'm Baker, I try to get in the building for these little mini camps, voluntary, whatever's going on, and be a super duper soldier. You brag about everything. You say whatever. You talk about great things about the organization, la, 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 la. And because this show, if you do this and they let you there and you build a rapport, which I don't know if you can salvage it or not, because I don't know what happened before to make this whole situation start. You know what I mean? Like when OBJ and them was there. But if you can somehow finagle your way to be there and start those games with Watson out and actually do something decent, that ain't gonna do nothing but help you, bro. It's gonna help you dramatically with everything. Everything. It's a tough pill to swallow, and it's gonna be tough for everybody, but the organization, the people in the locker room would know better than me if that could even possibly work. We'll see. I'm still intrigued by it because I just can't see looking at Geno Smith versus Drew Lock in Seattle. That's a real deal thing. That's a real deal thing. And we'll talk about what I'm thinking now, if they're going to keep that like that in a second. But Tannehill had to get therapy after his loss. Another loss. Another big-time loss for them. Number 1 seed loss. They talking about Malik Willis. He talking about, it's not my job to be a mentor to Malik Willis. Whoever your therapist was needs to be fired because they not helping your anger problems at all, bro. At all. You just came out and just dogged this dude. You ain't Ben Roethlisberger. You ain't Brett Favre. These guys are Hall of Famers and have won stuff. You ain't done nothing but lost stuff. Lost. Just like your number 1 receiver. Lost. You out here dogging this dude. This dude ain't even ready to play yet. He might even be ready for more than 1 year. And you dogging him? You trying to put some anger on him? You might get him hyped up to push even harder to take your job faster. What? Roethlisberger said the same thing about Rudolph, and how'd that work out? Rudolph still ain't seen the field unless whatever. And then he got hit with a helmet and shit. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And Brett Favre made Aaron Rodgers wait all them years. And look how great Aaron Rodgers is. Especially the timing. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Tannehill, you just ain't that dude. Mentally, physically, nothing. You ain't. Sorry. That's what happens in the draft. People thought he could draft him earlier, but he didn't. But now he's on the right team at the right time. Speaking of the draft, I'm not going to go deep into it. Everybody knows about the draft. I think my team did okay. Brandon was even bringing it up to me, and I looked deeper into it. I think we did okay. Certain people I would have picked before certain people, but what do I know? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a GM. I'm just a coach. But I'm looking at it. Number 1 team, I think, was the Jets. I mean, people say other teams. I think the Jets got 3 of the top 15 players. You know what I'm saying? I think top to bottom, they addressed their team. I think they're the best draft. Second best was the Ravens. You know, they got studs. The reason why I put them second instead of 1, and value. Value, my boy Kyle. Anyway, the reason why I put them 1, because they ain't getting no wide receiver at all. And you lost Hollywood Brown. I mean, I know the boy from last year's all right, but you didn't even get one later. Even Green Bay got one later. I don't know. That makes even Kansas City got one later. Y'all ain't get one later at least. But I still got you number 2. Number 3, I got Detroit. I think Detroit get Jameson. wide receiver out of Alabama, who would have been number one without the injury, but that value's there. And then you got Hutch, who should have been number one pick in the draft, in my opinion. I think Detroit had a good draft. And my last team, the freaking Eagles. I think they addressed a lot of needs, a lot of lead. And you got AJ Brown, So I think they did well. But I'll tell you what, the pressure now, it's on your boy Hurts, and it's on Tua. You're on the clock because next year's draft, like this past draft, quarterbacks weren't of the richest. But next year, with CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, amongst others, like 5 more, it's rich. And we talk about these two boys, Stroud and Young, being like top 1 and 2 picks in the draft if they need be, about people moving up to get them. And Hurts and Tua, if y'all don't come correct, I can see y'all losing y'all's jobs because expectations are big. I know the AFC's loaded Miami, but you should make the playoffs and even push to beat somebody in the playoffs. And the Eagles, y'all are already in the playoffs. NFC's weak. You should be able to contend with Dallas for the division title. But that's if Hurts plays well and Tommy's boy Sanders shows up, not taking him in fantasy, Tommy. No way. And I think that's what the Seahawks are waiting for. If they didn't jump on Baker Mayfield, they were probably like, why am I going to take Baker? You got 1 year. I'd still took him. Anyway, because Geno and Drew Lock, no. Highlight for real? Highlight? They not going to be no good. And I think they looking for one of them boys. And then my last team to look at is the Saints. I think that was big what they did with Jameson. I think that was huge at getting Michael Thomas back in the mix. The Honey Badger signed with him to replace Michael Jenkins. And don't sleep on the Saints. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Saints because I know the division is weak. Tom Brady's back. Tom Brady's there again. But what does he struggle against? The Saints defense. You put the Honey Badger back there. Don't let them get them in the playoffs or something and have one of them bad Tom Brady games with that defense. I'm just saying the Saints are one of them sneaky teams in the NFC this year. Watch with the moves that they're making. We're about to wrap this episode up real quick, but I got to give shout out to my boys. We're 18-9. My Mets. Hey, I'm happy that we up the top. We 4.5 games up. Yankees looking good. They got the highest differential. The Dodgers are looking amazing. Magic might buy another team in the Broncos, which might be funnier than Tom Brady owning them. Tommy, I love it. UFC this Saturday. My brother Derek got me into it, yo. Oliveira and Gaethje is the main event, and then my girl Rose is out there defending her belt. It's gonna be huge. Raw tomorrow night. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 89. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe, shout out, push it, share all our stuff, man. Get new people watching. We appreciate y'all. Out.